I wanted Joan here because this is the first time my team is going to get to spend any time with me since the blinds. And my number one kind of selling point to get them to come to my side was that they're already great singers. That's why they made it this far on The Voice. But I don't want to just be their vocal trainer because that's not really what's important to me. And the only thing that's important to me as an artist, I think it's mostly about being who you are and having something to say. And I think Joan would be the person that I could bring in that would help pull out that authenticity so they get rid of the nerves or thinking, oh no, I'm on TV, so I don't want to say anything weird, or I don't want, I want people to like me and I want people to want to vote for me. And sometimes when people say no, that's not always a bad thing. It's actually sometimes good to lose. So it's okay because then you know you're doing something different. You're doing something that not everyone understands, and that's what makes you unique. So I wanted her to be here so they would feel just more confident and they would know that I meant what I said about the number one priority in this competition is to show the world who you are.
I wanted to take part in this first and foremost because Miley asked me, and I know she wouldn't ask me about something that it wasn't trivial. It wasn't sort of a off the cuff question. That there was a reason that she wanted me here, and I wanted to be there for her because we're friends, and I really like her. I think she's intelligent. She's really got her finger on the pulse of so much, more than I could explain right now. But and I feel like she is very genuine. So I wanted to be part of this process. I didn't know a lot about it ahead of time, which I think is kind of good because then I can't be sort of colored by what I'd seen previously. So to be here, I just wanted, I didn't really know exactly what I was getting into. I knew a little bit, but I thought it would be a great time, that Miley knows what she's doing and she'd want me here for a certain reason, and that's
And somehow
here
you are.
and yeah,
in the middle of tour. I think we hear a lot of the same things and we see a lot of the same things in people. When people walk in and we listen to them sing, I think we're thinking the same things about them. We're watching how they connect with the other person, because right now in the battles, it's a really weird thing because we sing together, but we would never be competing with one another when we're together. And they're in this weird space where they're duetting, but it's considered a battle, which that energy should never, I think, shouldn't enter the performance because it takes something negative and it takes away from music, because I think I'm not really competitive when it comes to music. I know that we're all doing our best version of ourselves. No one else can be a better you than yourself, so there's no one that could compete with me because there's only one me and there's only one them. And so I think for them to know, one, to hear Joan's stories, I think of the times where people told her no, and I think for people to hear from me firsthand stories of when people told me no. And actually, in having those stories that she shared with me has helped me a lot for times when people tell me that something I'm doing isn't what I should be doing. I remember those stories of, hey, someone said that you didn't have what they were looking for or what they needed in the industry, and then you have a top 10 single after that. So that's the way that I just always kind of keep myself remembering that it's okay sometimes to lose in everyone else's eyes.
I personally can't really imagine having this show on when I was young. It was just a completely different world at that time. And so, yeah, if you could get on one of the 3 TV stations that that were out there, then yeah. But one of the things that Miley said about the competition. Now, it's hard to picture if these teams are competing against each other, and that's the foremost thing in their mind. How would that work? While they're sitting there singing a duet, what are they supposed to look at each other and go, singing a love song with hate in there? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. So Miley is having them enjoy each other's energy, and she teamed them up and worked very hard, and they all seemed to really vibe together. Every couple that came in each time really liked each other, which is so, I think, above and beyond the competition. It's the more important thing. They won't realize this till much later, but that's the more important thing. It's not really who wins. I think ultimately, that's, of course, they all want to win, but they're getting more out of this than I think they'll realize probably for a few years, as it all filters down and they remember what they saw and, you know, whatever those intricacies are, that they'll carry that probably for the rest of their lives, I would think. I didn't really know what to expect, really, but I knew that it was a different situation than some other shows that you see. I know that pretty much everyone could sing, you know, and that's the thing, and how to break that down. The talent level is really off the charts. Everyone has a really, you know, beautiful voice, and they could easily become, you know, the next person on the radio if everything falls in the right place. Their energy was really good. There was I didn't feel like anybody was, I didn't even feel their nerves, to tell you the truth. I'm sure they were nervous, because I would be if I was in their shoes, but it didn't really come across, and maybe that's because Miley's pairings were so perfect, and I don't know how you do that, like how you get the energy of the people to match up. Like each team, or each couple that came in to see us seemed to really enjoy the other person, and considering that this is a competition, that, you know, was a good thing, because you don't want that vibe of, oh, I'm gonna beat you, you know, oh my God, you know, I gotta be better than you. It was these people joining to make something even more special. I mean, they obviously each can sing on their own, but when they go into their singing together, it was really a beautiful thing, and I liked their energy. Was the thing that impressed me most, was that they didn't have a competitive vibe.
I thought about it a lot too when I was doing the pairings. Like, there was never a time where I just sat down and decided, okay, I'm gonna put these pairings together now. It took me like a week or so just to watch the blind auditions a lot, listen to what they told me during the blinds, because as much as you're trying to get them to be on your team, and I'm kind of telling them about myself as quick as I can, they do the same thing while they're on the stage. They kind of tell us about their lives. So I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about their style, because I know a lot of them came in with really clear ideas of how they wanted to be seen, how they wanted to dress, and that's really important to me. That you feel comfortable all the time, and also you don't become a TV version of yourself. I never wanted them to try to please people and think, oh, that's the way I'm going to get people to vote, is if I dress the way people want me to. My team isn't really like that at all, and so I just tried to put their energies together. And also, as them being such amazing artists, which they are, who I would be excited to see together, who I would want, like, who would be my dream duet. And even hearing Allie and Courtney, the way that they executed Odetta, I mean, that's why I'm on this show. And also, I think I wouldn't be sitting here. There's not many people I could sit here with, and we're paired for a reason, because we're connected, our energy is connected. It's the same way of what would make me want to perform with someone. You have to have that mutual respect and energy and style and reason for singing, and I think all of them do, even if it's different. They're all so unique, and I think I'm really happy with the song choices now, hearing them actually do them in front of me, that I feel really confident in what I pick for them, which I'm really happy, because that's the first time they've ever got to experience me as a coach. So now I feel like they can trust me a little bit more, and I know that I can trust them to be professional and to go and do their homework and come back with their harmonies worked out, and also for me not to tell them what their harmonies are going to be. They're so connected, they can figure it out.
You're gonna have times when things don't go how you want them to go, and maybe the dream, you're not seeing it, you're not seeing your path. And that's the toughest time, is to stay, if you decide this is what you want to do, to stay on that path and not let the fear overtake your optimism, you know? And I think it's important that you're realistic as well. But that can be kind of tricky, because it's subjective. What one person is willing to do for it might be different than another person. You know, one person might have a family and some situation that holds them where they can't necessarily go out on the road and tour for long periods of time. So I think each thing would be subjective, but I would say if you have a dream, no matter what it is, whether it pertains to music or anything, you've got to go for it. You'll always resent later in life if you don't go for it. You know, at least you'll learn something along the way, hopefully.